Hi, everybody. This is Toya with TTV. Um, I apologize for the fact that it's been so long since I came on here and did a video. I realize that I have issues when it comes to commitment. I can commit to somebody else in anything I tell them. So if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, then you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be done. Because if it can't be done, I'm going to tell you why. But when it comes to committing to do things for myself, that's where I lack. So, as you can see right now, I'm in a hotel room. This was one of my alone trips. I try to do one in the end of the year, one in the beginning of the year, or just wherever it's needed. The reason I do this is because in my day to day life, it is sometimes difficult for me to focus because of everything else that's going on. So, when I come on a alone trip, I can actually take a look at the things that I do, my issues, my problems, self improvement, things that are stressing me or worrying me, I can get clarity on and I can really focus on. So, one of the things that I always make sure that I do when I come on these alone trips is the self improvement part. And I realize that sometimes when I look at these commitments, I look at them in the incorrect manner. So, these videos, for example, yes, I did these videos because it was something to do and it was a challenge, just like anything else I've done. But that's not entirely the real reason I did this. I have been told that when I talk to people, it helps them. The perception that I have on things, a different viewpoint, just because of my experiences, just things like that, that it actually helps people. And as my way of kind of giving to the community and doing my part to help others, that's why I wanted to do these videos to help other people. Because I don't want to just do it on just stupid stuff or things that don't really matter, but I want to do content that actually pertains to people and that will actually help them. And that's why I wanted to do these videos. But I lost sight of that, or I can't say I lost because you can't lose something you never had. I didn't really go in depth with the thought of why I wanted to do these videos. So instead of this being a commitment to myself, this is actually a commitment to other people. Whoever comes across these videos, you come across it for a reason. Because I don't believe in coincidences. You come across the video for a reason. And whatever that reason is, I want to make sure you get it. And that was the reason behind me wanting to start these videos. So, with that being said, I do commit to doing at least one video every week for you guys, for whoever it is that needs them on whatever topic that comes to me, whether it's a conversation with a friend that I end up posting on here or whatever it may be. Um, I commit to one video every week. I can't say when it's going to come, what day of the week, but I do commit to doing one video every week. So, with that being said, this is, like I said, the first video of me being trying to do better with my commitments. And just to give a little more explanation of it or another viewpoint on it, in case you're one of those people who are having a hard time with commitment as well. I like swimming. That's actually why my hair is wet now because I was in a pool and now it felt wonderful. And one of the things I remembered that I love about being in a pool so much is because it is a therapy to me. And when I first started going swimming all the time, actually, the reason I got back into swimming all the time was some years ago. Uh, I don't know, it had to be about 7 or 8 years ago. I had sciatica in my back, and my back went out on me, and I was pretty much out for a few days, like almost a week. And I vowed that would never happen again. And for those who don't know me, when I say something will never happen to me again, it will never happen to me again. I'm going to find a way for it not to happen. And so that's what I did. I started going to water aerobics, I started swimming, and that was my reason for doing it. So years go by, and I was in there for a long time, but the place that I went to underwent some changes because the person who was actually teaching the class ended up in an accident, and so she got hurt, and the supervisor over the pool changed, and when all of that stuff changed, it just the place I was going to kind of went downhill. It wasn't the best place to begin with, but after that, it just went downhill, and I was feeling better, so I didn't see it or feel it as a need anymore. It was just something I wanted to do. So I found a new place to go to, and I was going there all before COVID, and it was wonderful. I would go just because I wanted to go, and I would give those excuses. I didn't sleep very good last night. I'm not going today. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. Um, you know what? Tomorrow, busy day. I just want to relax today. I'm not going. Uh, I would come up with all these different excuses on why not to do it, to where it ended up being that I would go maybe once, maybe twice out the week. And one day in the pool, it kind of hit me that when I go, I get in, I swim back and forth, just back and forth down the lane, nonstop. And that can be anywhere between 30 minutes to the most I think I've gone is like an hour and a half, just swimming back and forth. And what happens is when I start, after about the first, I say probably about 4 times back and forth, I end up in autopilot, which means my body is just going. And I swim backwards. That's a whole nother story I'm not going to bore you with, but I swim backwards. And it became therapy for me. My mind was free to think about things. I would work on problems I have. I would work on paintings in my head. I would talk to God. I would just basically de stress. And I realized that that was a therapy for me. So I had to change it from just thinking about going back and forth swimming to just because I wanted to this is actually therapy for me. Not only does it make me feel great because swimming helps, with your core and tone your muscles and things, but mentally I was able to get clarity and de-stress. So it was actually a therapy for me. And I had to look at it like that. And when I looked at it like that, then yeah, I'm going, you know, 3 to 5, 7 times a week, whatever. Let me go for my therapy session. And that's what I considered it because I would go, I would do my laps, get the hot tub, stretch out in the hot tub, do the toucan because it's this little waterfall thing that really is wonderful on your back. It feels like somebody's doing this. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. And then I hit the steam room. Well, it used to be a sauna until that wasn't hot enough for me. And then I would go into the steam room. Um, and that was my therapy. And when I would come out of there, I would feel great and ready for anything the world had to give me. Throw at me, whatever. I'm ready. Um, and it was great. And I had to change how I looked at it. So exercise though, that's a hard one. So like when I was doing Chloe, I really couldn't think of any reason to do it other than you need to exercise. That's it. I couldn't come up with any other way to think about it. And sometimes it's going to be like that. Sometimes you're just going to have something that you need to commit to, and it's just going to be you need to commit to it, and then that's it. And you have to value yourself enough to keep that commitment, whatever it is, because it's a self improvement. We are always evolving, we are always changing, we are always improving. We are a constant work of art that is constantly being worked. Your story is constantly being written every single day, every moment, every minute, every second. Your story is being written. And so you are always going to be in the process of improvement. Never Humans will never be perfect. I don't care what anybody tells you or what they think. You may think you walking around perfect and you ain't got no flaws. Baby, I guarantee you do. We all have flaws, we all have problems, we all have issues. We all have things that we need to work on. And so, as long as you're always striving to work on those things, as long as you're always trying to improve on those things, then you always have growth. Because again, you are a constant improvement. You are a work in progress. Um, and it will be like that. Even upon your deathbed, you will still be a work in progress. There will still be things you could have did better. There will still be things that you could have done better. Whether it's just something as simple as how you talk to your own self in your head, or how you look at the world instead of seeing the negativity and everything. Try looking at positive. You know what? I got caught up in watching Ugly Betty, that TV series, and I ended up watching the whole thing, the whole 8 seasons. And well, we're not gonna get into that, but anyway, um, one of the episodes in there was something that I think challenges a lot of people, gives them a hard time. Some people will probably even have anxiety over it, but it is a good practice to have. It will strengthen your integrity, and you will find that people will react differently than what you expect. And what that is telling the truth. Be honest. Don't lie. Don't lie on anything. You want to have integrity. Integrity is telling the truth. And not only telling the truth to other people, but telling the truth to yourself. Um, so, like my truth on this video, I could say, well, I was busy, or yeah, I didn't really have a topic to talk about, or yeah, I was this. But the truth of the matter is I didn't do it because I chose not to. Instead of doing it, I was watching Ugly Betty. Instead of doing it, I was taking my dogs for a walk. So it's not necessarily say I was doing something bad or um, doing something wrong or something I shouldn't have. It's just I was doing something other than what I knew I needed to do. I put it on the back burner. And in that integrity is to being that honest with myself. Like, no, heifer, you did not do it because you did not do it. So it's not just your integrity is not just telling the truth to other people, but it's also telling the truth to yourself. So I challenge you with that. See how honest you can be in your day and try it. You'll be surprised at the response you get. You may think you get one response and you actually end up with a different one. Now, I'm not saying that telling the truth and being honest means that you purposely share things with people that you know will hurt them, or you purposely do things with malicious intent. Let me put it like that. You don't have to tell everybody everything. Or as they used to say when I was a kid, is what comes to mind doesn't actually have to come up. So what comes up doesn't have to come out. So what comes up in your mind doesn't necessarily have to come out in your mouth. You don't have to share everything. That is not what being honest is. That is not having integrity. Integrity is if I ask you a question, and let's say the question is something as simple as, how are you doing today? If someone asks you that, yeah, you can say, well, I'm okay. Or you can say, you know what? I'm okay, but I didn't get enough sleep last night. And just something as simple as that will be remarkable. And it will start to give you relief and relieve stress, and get rid of the anxiety that people have over telling somebody how they truly feel. There's been times when, a friend of mine, she was making soap. And I think this was around the time when she first started, or she first started sharing it with people. I'm not sure. But she asked me for my opinion on it. And I said, well, I enjoyed the soap, but it just doesn't lather up enough for me. And she said, well, thank you. Now she could have took that and said, you know what? Well, then you ain't gotta buy it no more. Internet. But no, and I was worried that that's how she might take it. That might be how she interpreted it or how she looked at it. That I'm trying to put her down for what she's doing. And instead, she told me, "Thank you. Now I know what to do to my soap." So she improved it, gave it to me, and I love her soap. Her soap is awesome. you know, which I need to order some. But anyway, so just in me telling her the truth and what was really on my mind and how I really felt benefited her. There have been times when I told people the truth and they did get mad. They didn't like what I had to say. But after they thought about what it was I said, and they realized that I'm not coming to you and I'm not telling you this truth to be malicious. I'm not telling you this truth to hurt you. I'm telling this because you asked me. And when they realized that and they thought about it, they came back and they said, I'm sorry I reacted the way I did, but thank you for telling me the truth. It was just a little hard for me to hear. And you'll get that. You'll get those people who will be mad at you and want to go off. But just remember, you maintained your integrity. And I think that was one of the things I loved about watching Ugly Betty is no matter what came, at the end of the day, she always maintained her integrity. If she did it, she took accountability for it. If it went against her beliefs, she said, I don't like this. So, and yeah, there were times when she probably did things that did go against her integrity, where she realized that she lost track of it, but then she got right back on it. And I think that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about watching. Not I think, I know that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about watching Ugly Betty, and why I watched the whole series. It's because I enjoyed seeing a TV series where somebody had some type of integrity and stood up for what they believe. Not in a malicious way, not in a malicious way or with malicious intent, but because that was what felt right to her. And it's not something that she necessarily pushed off on anybody else. She saw her boss and was like, you can do so much better than what you're doing. But if you're, I'm not going to interfere with it, but you could do better, So, and I love that in a person. And that's what I hope to be to other people. Like, you might not like everything I have to say, but I promise you what I say is to for the betterment of you. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to tell you something that is not going to benefit you. If you ask me a question, I want to answer it, and I want it to be honest. The answer I give to be honest and something that you can trust and count on, which is why I think so many people come to me and talk to me, is because they know that's what they're going to get. And sometimes I give you warnings. I put my disclaimer out there. Be like, Toy, what you think about this? You want the truth? And then they'll sit there and they'll pause. Well, you know what? That's okay. So, you know, people will come to understand. And sometimes you do need to put those disclaimers out there. Listen, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I really am not trying to hurt your feelings. I got nothing but love for you. But da 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 da. So, but that's my challenge for you to for this coming week, or just pick a day. Just be honest. Just be honest. Somebody asks you a question, be honest with the answer that you give them. So I hope you got something out of this. I hope this helped and benefited somebody out there that's watching it. That is my wish. That is my intent behind this and these future videos and things like that. Um, and that's all I have for you guys today. So I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, election day. Time to go vote and get all these phone calls and text messages done with. Don't call me no more. Don't text me no more about this mess. I'm tired. But I hope you all have a wonderful day and get out there, enjoy the sunshine, even if it's cold. Fresh air do you some good. All right, love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.